everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Course Building Secrets podcast. I am thrilled that you are here today. Hey, today we're going to talk about AI and all things using AI to make your process more efficient, streamline all of your operational tasks when it comes to your online course business and all sorts of other things as we sort of unpack like how do you use it, when do you use it, and when do you not use it. So what I've been seeing a lot of, and of course everyone's talking about this right now, right? And I've been seeing a lot of, well, hey, use AI, use ChatGPT to just like magically sell your course super fast and get it out there in the world. Yeah, not so much, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that because there's an assumption, and there's always sort of been an assumption, right? That if you are able to sell something, then you automatically have a viable, awesome product that people are going to buy, people are going to get results, and then people are going to stay in your world and become like raving fans, right? But that's not actually the case. And it's not going to be the case, it's not going to be any different if you use a tool like ChatGPT and try and just use it to completely create your course. And I just want to unpack why and what you actually can use it for and how it will completely change the game for you in terms of saving you time, making you more efficient, helping you really dial in some of the language, the messaging, and just articulate perhaps some of the titles and headlines and different things like that you haven't necessarily been able to do. So there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with the AI tools that are out there, and they're only going to get more and more powerful. So it's super, super exciting. I love emerging tech like this where it starts to change the game. And you can do it with images, you can do it with voice, you can do it with video. One really kind of big sidebar, but really powerful tool is if you're the type of person who doesn't like getting on video, there are so many options for you. There always have been a lot of options, but even more now with some of these AI tools that really allow you to create powerful videos, which will kind of replace you as the attractive character. So that will be a totally different episode, but such a powerful tool to be using for your online course business, your online programs, anything that you're creating. Now, if you've heard me on this podcast at all or in anything else that we've done, the number one thing I'm going to tell you is tactics without a strategy is not going to actually get you anywhere, right? So the problem with starting with a tool like ChatGPT or anything else that's out there is it's only as good as the inputs that you're putting into it. So if you're asking it to, write something or give you ideas about something, it's only as good as where you are starting from. And so it's a tool, just like everything else is a tool in your toolbox, but it's not the end all, kind of be all, like this is going to completely change the trajectory of your entire future. It's not going to happen, right? You still have to do the foundational activities to make sure that you are working with the right avatar, that you are solving a problem that they want to actually solve. You have a prototype that's been built, right? Like you're working on promotions, you're working on pricing, you're working on the offer that you are putting together to help serve your perfect avatar. And of course, you need to have a product roadmap or a signature framework that is your unique methodology that you bring out to the world. What ChatGPT is really great at doing is helping you articulate the parts and pieces of some of those things, give kind of examples of how you can use the messaging, how you can use different terms, what some examples would be of a 9-step roadmap process, right? Or how you can sort of package something into your signature methodology. But the bottom line is like you have to have all of that ahead of time in order to have the right inputs for these tools to get the outputs that are going to get you where you want to go. And I'm going to tell you, the people who are saying, hey, you can sell a course really quickly are the same ones who are putting out a bunch of information on topics that they're not experts in. And it's more information, right? Like there's no reason why you need to buy a course that's just giving you a bunch of information. Even if it's packaged in, kind of a step-by-step modular format, right? What you really are looking for is somebody's proprietary signature system that allows you to go from point A to point B faster than you can do on your own, faster than just a bunch of information. Because the value in working with an expert who has that methodology is that they're able to not only help you with the steps, right? Should be mapped out. You should be able to see it ahead of time. They're able to help you with that map and give you kind of the exact path that you need to take. But they're also going to be able to help you overcome obstacles and hurdles along the way. And I'm telling you right now that an information-based course, something that's just sort of put together in a topic format, written by ChatGPT and put out there as an evergreen option, is not necessarily going to do an awesome job of helping you overcome your own personal hurdles and obstacles that you're going to encounter along the path. Some of them are, right? So one of the things that I teach is I teach people how to automate that process of anticipating when people are going to run into problems and hurdles, and then building that in terms of activities or specific touch points along the path. But most people don't do that because they're not thinking about customer experience. They're not thinking about how a learner actually goes through a process to learn, right? It's not so much about the content. It's about the evolution that somebody goes through from not knowing to knowing, right? Or not being able to do something to being proficient, to not having a clear path to having a clear path, to not thinking about it in one way to thinking about it in another way, right? So there's this transition or transformation that people go through, and that's the piece, that's the layer that most of the time when someone is just like, you can build and sell a course as fast as possible and get it out there and it's going to be great. Most of the time those are missing, right? And so one, you need to be looking for proprietary methodology. If you put in ChatGPT, like, create a proprietary methodology for me on this topic, they're going to compile a bunch of things. The system is going to compile a bunch of things, and it's not really your unique framework, right? You could use ChatGPT as a brainstorm tool to say, hey, what are the 9 steps? Put them in the right order. What's the industry standard for these 9 steps, right? But at the end of the day, there is a unique way that you show up in your expertise, in something that you're passionate about. And so you have to make sure that that's what you're leading with when you're going out and helping people. So again, it's a tool. It's something to use, like I said, during the brainstorming process, during the refinement process. If you're like, okay, so here's my 9-step methodology, put it into the, give each a title that starts with a verb. Put it in the voice of, direct response marketing if you want to create a sales page or something. Create a headline that includes, a time-based outcome and a result. Right? What it's going to do is it's going to help give you some language or some ways to think about and brainstorm how you want to articulate the messaging, the kind of the way to put it together in your program. You could have it, give you ideas for social media. It could give you ideas for workbooks. It could give you ideas for all sorts of different things, but you own the frame, right? Like, you can't put it in there and say, create the frame for me, and then just go with that, right? It doesn't work that way. So what I use it for literally is for any time I need to write something, I need to come up with a title, I need to think about how something can connect. For those of you who know me, like, email is my nemesis. And so a lot of times I'll say, okay, so here is the message that I want to get across. This is what I'm trying to communicate. Write an email that communicates X, Y, and Z, and, primarily for this audience. And then I have something I can work with. I can edit it. I can look at it. I can, change it up. Same thing with like a blog post or something like that. And so what it does is once you have your strategy, once you have your methodology, it's a great tool to use to help you fast track the other things that you're doing, right? But it's not necessarily going to be the thing that will write the entire blog post for you, right? Like you don't just take it, copy it, and put it in your blog post, right? You have to look at it critically. You have to put your stamp on it, put your expertise on it, put it through the filter of what you know, before you just blindly copy it onto something else. So anyway, there's a couple of examples that I gave you in this episode on how to create more ease and efficiency in your business, how to use it as a tool, just like you use all the other tools that are available to you to maximize your effectiveness. So hopefully this episode just gave you a little bit of a taste of how to use it, how to make it more effective, and how to leverage your time as you're using AI. Both, ChatGPT and any other tools that are out there are tools for you to use to enhance what you already have. And so hopefully this serves you. Love to hear your thoughts, how you're using it. Give us some comments and examples of how you are using it in your work. All right, there you go. Have a great afternoon.